Miracle, Bokutte Upa was released on the Famicom Disk System in April of 1988. It was later released in cartridge format for the Famicom in 1993. The game wasn't seen stateside until 2008 when it was released for the Wii's Virtual Console. The translation of the game's title into English is Miracle, I'm Upa. The game was made by Konami, the makers of Contra and Castlevania, and it came out in the same era as those games, so this should be pretty interesting. The plot is centered around baby Upa trying to save other babies in his kingdom from an evil spirit named Zai. This game doesn't really have much of a plot though, except for the ending. Your primary attack in this game is to hit things with your rattle. When you hit things with your rattle, they turn into balloons that you can either ride or send flying vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, depending on how you hit it. This is a fun ability, but it's super easy to hurt yourself bouncing a balloon off a wall and having it come back and hit you. Because of this, the game's difficulty is drastically raised. It should be noted that hitting a balloon in the direction you want isn't exactly as easy as it sounds, especially when you want it to go diagonally. There are 4 level types in this game. There's your basic side-scrolling level, which you'll encounter most of the game, there's a climbing level, there's weird eating levels, and there's the obligatory water level. On the climbing level, you pretty much work your way up the level. Like in Kid Icarus, on the climbing level, if you go past one of the sides of the screen, you'll appear on the other. On the eating levels, you'll find yourself in a cake or giant block of cheese, and you have to work your way through the level by eating the cake or cheese. What this entails is simply being able to move in all 4 directions using your D-pad. These levels are kinda slow-paced, but they're a nice break from the standard game. The water levels aren't bad in this game, and it's really easy to control. If you've played a water level on the NES, it's pretty much the same thing as any other title. On the standard side-scrolling levels, you better hope you have some serious platforming skills, because it gives you some pretty crazy jumps. Usually you can be successful with your jumps if you can get as close to the edge while jumping. Jumping also has a really good feel in this game. When you hit the ceiling, you just kinda drift on it as far as the jump would have taken you. There's one level in the game that's just terrible. Level 4-2 is a side-scrolling level, however the level's turned upside down, so you're crawling across the ceiling instead of the floor. While this level's definitely beatable, it just hurts my brain. The entirety of World 4 just isn't great. It has the poorest looking graphics, and Level 4-1 features a stupid difficult boss fight. World 4 really stains the game and stands out like a sore thumb as being the worst part of the entire game. There are red square blocks sprinkled throughout the levels that have Upa's face on them. These blocks are how you get power-ups. Power-ups in this game include apples, hourglasses, bells, hearts, and milk bottles. Apples increase your score, hourglasses freeze time similar to the hourglass in Castlevania. The bells give Upa invincibility and the ability to run on 2 feet instead of crawl. The milk bottles restore your health, and hearts increase your maximum health and also full heal you. Graphically, this game is really good looking for 1988. Konami made really good stuff during this time period, and the graphics definitely show. Most levels look great except for the 4th world, which is all computer looking and green and just looks offensive to the eyes. The audio in this game is great. Unfortunately, there just aren't that many tracks. There's only about 4 songs in the game, and one plays almost on all the levels, so it can get a little repetitive. However, it's not a bad tune, so it could be way worse. Since this is an import game, price charting doesn't have a listing for it. On eBay, the cartridge versions of this game average around $130, and the disc versions are closer to $30. So if you want to play this game, I'd recommend getting the Virtual Console version, although it would be cool to have a physical copy of the game. Miracle, Bokutte Upa is overall a pretty enjoyable game that's gone under the radar for far too long. I think it's a shame it never came out stateside back in the NES era, because I think I would have really enjoyed it back then. The game features an extremely high difficulty level like many games this era, but it's still really enjoyable. The game offers a lot in terms of mastering, and it takes time to learn its nuances. While the game does have several notable stages that are just awful, the rest of the game is really enjoyable. In the end, I think this is an overlooked NES title that's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.